まず僕が携わってきた格闘ゲームの中
Well, I've been very lucky in my career, certainly with fighting games. Everything I've been involved in has been able to be released. Nothing I've involved in has been canceled. Whether they've succeeded completely or not is kind of another story, but they've all made it to market, and I've been very lucky in that sense. And I think, some things we're looking to do now is titles that may not have been as huge a success as we'd wanted. Third Strike is a good example. Looking to bring these back like we're doing with the online version that we're going to have for download, which is going to have, YouTube uploading and all these cool online features, that sort of thing. These are, good ways to take games that didn't do as well as we thought they would, but we still know are damn good and deserve another chance. I think you might see things like that happening more and more often from us, potentially. When it comes to the Mega Man question, first of all, I myself, as a fan, I find it very unfortunate, obviously, like a lot of people do, that game couldn't see the light of day. I can say I don't think we've seen the end of Mega Man by any stretch. He is still Capcom's mascot character when it comes down to it. Not every game he's in will necessarily make it all the way to market sometimes. That's just the way the things happen once in a while. But speaking directly from the creator side to the users, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about this character. We haven't forgotten about the fans that support him. You'll see him in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, this is something that I'm keenly aware of. I was there on the front line, so to speak, when we kind of ruined it for ourselves in the 90s by putting out too many fighting games. I don't think that will happen again, and I can tell you why. We're not setting our sights unrealistically high. We're not looking to sell 1 billion copies or 100 million copies of any of these games. We just want 3 or 4 million people who are really interested in fighting games and really into helping us to get a feedback loop going where we can keep in touch with the community. If we can get something like that going, I think we'll be fine. The key here is going to be engaging with the community, communicating with them, making sure that they feel like their voice is being heard, and they can kind of help in some way sort of design the game and help us balance them. I think keeping them involved and not keeping them at arm's length is going to be the key to preventing another fighting game crash. So Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we're working right now on the PlayStation 3 and 360 versions for release as soon as humanly possible. I can tell you that, and I give you kind of a riddle, I guess. Think back in time since the first time we put out a playable, calculate the time from them until now, then multiply that by 2 and add it on to the current date, and you'll have some idea of the release window. I hope that didn't confuse you too much. But bottom line, we're not done with the game yet. Still plenty of characters to announce, plenty of characters to still create and work on and tweak. So you won't see it necessarily in the immediate future, but we're working to get it in your hands as soon as possible. The PlayStation Vita version, which we announced at E3, development on that is going very smoothly. It's not terribly likely that we'll have a simultaneous release with the PS3 and 360 version, but we'll get it out as soon as possible. It is new hardware, and we started later. The last thing we're going to do is rush and give you a substandard product. So it'll be a little later, but we'll do everything we can to get all 3 versions to you as soon as we can. As far as the Wii U is concerned, I'd like to do something different, more non-traditional than these kind of standard fighting games. That controller is very inspirational with that big screen on it. I think I'd like to do something that would take full advantage of that, and I don't necessarily know that a simple fighting game port would do that. So I've got some ideas, and we'll see what happens, but you probably won't see any direct ports of what I'm working on at the moment.